The Great Depression originated in the United States of the stock market crash of October 29 of 1929 and quickly spread to almost every country in the world. The Great Depression, also known as 20 crisis, was global economic that lasted during the 23 in the years before World War II.
National income, tax revenue, profit and price fears, and international trade declined between 15 and 16%. Employment in the United States increased 25%, and in some countries reached 23%.
Cities around the world were severely affected, especially those depend on heavy industries, and construction virtually stopped in many areas. Farming in rural areas suffered falling crop prices that reached above 16%. And the food in the mountain areas depend on primary sector industries, while few alternative sources of employment were the more effective.
Many Americans lost their jobs, which caused a lot of families go hungry and did not have the necessary equipment for both personal products and food products. During the Great Depression ended the degrading social classes, regardless of whether they had money or not.
The crisis had a profound impact on the universe of the general theory defined in production and extension in time of high employment rates question neoclassic conceptions. They emphasize that the disruption caused by variations in economic activity will be overcome from the free operation of market force. In the context of the crisis of strengthening heterodox positions recommending an active policy against depression, the most important is its two main aspects are the phenomena must be considered from an economic perspective, and the state occupies a significant place with the economic system. Many economists think that this process of deflation was responsible for the depth and duration of depression, and it seems likely that its prolonged deflation was only possible by the policy of the Federal Reserve System decreasing the money supply.
Fun facts about the Great Depression that following people who lost their homes were often called hoverbacks or slums, named so as mockery of President Hoover. After the additional fall of the bank, there was a wave of suicides in the financial district of New York.
Collapse of the banking system. The absence in the United States, a strong banking sector nationally, and initial bankruptcy of some banks caused the banking crisis will spread throughout the country, multiplying the effects of the crisis. The Federal Reserve was the only one who could have prevented a false chain of banks by granting massive liquidity to banks formed. But the managers of the Federal Reserve, on the contrary, reduced the money supply and interest rates rose, causing a massive wave of banks' failures. This reduction in the money supply also led to the start of a deflationary process and the drastic reduction of consumption and the beginnings of an intense depression. The role of Keynesianism. John Maynard Keynes, the British economist, considered one of the most influential artists whose ideas had a strong impact on economic theories and policies. The crisis had a profound impact on the universe of the general theory. The fall in production and extension in time of high employment rates questioned neoclassical conceptions. They emphasized that the description caused by variation in economic activity will be overcome from the free operation of market forces. In the context of the crisis of authority, heterodox positions recommending an active policy against oppression. The most important is Keynesianism emerged. Its two main aspects are: the phenomenon must be considered from a global macroeconomic perspective, and the states occupying a significant place within the economic system.
The countries began to recover gradually in the mid-1930s, but its negative effects in many countries lasted until the beginning of the Second World War II. The election as President Franklin Delano Roosevelt and the establishment of the New Deal in 1932 marked the beginning of the end of the Great Depression in the United States. However, in Germany, the disappearance of external finances in the early 1930s and increases economic difficulties led to the emergence of National Socialism and the coming to power of Adolf Hitler.
The subsequent depression was by far the worst in U.S. history.
For alleged 3.5 years, all social and economic indication reflected a progressive deterioration of the situation.